the negotiations for this one,
Yeah.
like I know all negotiations at the high end for any player, like whether it's, Austin Matthews of the Maple Leafs, or, we'll see what happens with Elias Pettersson once he decides to sit down with Vancouver and discuss his future. I mean, these things are not easy. What were, in your mind or in your research, what were some of the stumbling blocks along the way here? What were the sort of, the moments where there was an impasse and both sides had to back away to cool off?
Well, I think that one of the biggest issue, I think, Jeff, was that I think that right from the beginning, the Nylander camp, led by his father and the agent, Louis Gross, established a number and said, if you want to keep him, this is going to be the number. And I don't know if it was 11.5 or a little bit higher, but as I said on the pod today, I spent a lot of time talking to people around this, and people who've negotiated with the agent Louis Gross in the past. And he said to me, like, basically what he does is he says, here's my number. I think this is the number the player deserves. He doesn't move much from there. And so in the summer, there were reports about, like, I think the Leafs wanted to do it with like a high 8 or a low 9. And, there was talk about what did Nylander want. And I had said many times that I think because of where Matthews got to, it was going to have to be reasonably close to that. I don't think that he was going to be taking, 3 or 4 million less. And, that was proven to be correct. But I think it was simply that, they said we're not budging from this general area. And the Maple Leafs had to get to a point where they said, all right, because they weren't going to be able to move them. And that's pretty much what happened here. And I think in the interim, there's, one of the storylines has been if they sign Nylander in the summer, they might have saved $1 million or $2 million a year on this. Knowing what I know now, I don't believe that's true. I think the number from the Nylander camp was always in this area. So that's number one. And number two, I do think the Maple Leafs spent a lot of time looking around for defense. Said if we could trade Nylander or we let him go, is there a kind of impact defenseman that we could go out and get or spend this money on? And I think part of the problem there was that, number one, and I do think they had made it clear in the summer they would consider moving Nylander for a high-end defenseman because he only had 1 year left on his contract. Trading partners knew it might be very difficult to sign him, and there was some uncertainty there. And also, I just think that as we talk today, you look at the top defensemen out there, they don't become available. I don't think that there were
No.
I think if there was a trade Toronto could have made for a top B, they would have done it.